Good morning, everybody. I'm Kushan from KushanGaming, and welcome back to Command Modern Operations. Today I'm going to be continuing Let's Play of Northern Fury H Hour, and I'm pretty sure that was not the save I wanted to load. Load save game. H Hour. Continuing Northern Fury H Hour 1. Sorry, I loaded my broken shield save there. So, last week, I got pummeled pretty badly, and that's pretty much where I left off. I have the elements of USAF 48th Fighter Wing that are flying up from Lakenheath now, just crossing into Norwegian airspace. I have a Dutch fighter squadron of F-16s that is also inbound. And I have my own reinforcing F-16s and F-5s from southern Norway just about ready to begin landing. I deployed the Norwegian F-16s, I think, to Andoya and Bodo? Or Andoya and Bardufoss? Or maybe I went the F-16s to Andoya and I put the F-5s at Bardufoss. I can't remember. The 48th Fighter Wing is going to Bodo, and I can't remember where the Dutch were ferrying to. As far as the situation in the north, I've pretty much lost control of the airspace over in northern Norway. Nothing I can really do about that, even with the reinforcements that are on the way. Most of my surface groups actually managed to survive, which surprised me. My two missile groups with my fast attack craft are now heading south to rendezvous about around Andoya. My Coast Guard cutter is still making its way. It's just leaving the fjords and just hitting the open sea, but it's going at a kind of a slow 22 knots. Submarine is still on station up in the north, and my second missile group, I think, was basically out of ammo. It was engaging one last tarantula, and then I think I'm going to have to get it out of the area. Don't have any ports to refuel or rearm. Oh yeah, most of my coastal cities were under attack. Some of these I had managed to defend and hold in theory, but I think, technically on a game perspective, is I've lost them. Let's see. I have a single platoon of the Norwegian army up here in the north that are kind of taking out Soviet infantry platoons by themselves. I think there's a little bit of a bug here in that these should be on a patrol mission or some sort of assault mission, but they're just kind of sitting there. Same thing for a couple of other places. Sorry with the maps loading. Even though the improvements they made with the Sentinel-2 maps, it still kind of loads slow when I'm streaming. And I think that's it for the situation. Still have my SOSA station, but that's pretty much the only one of my northern bunkers that's still alive. I don't have any radar that far north anymore. Where is my... Oh, I have one sub heading north. And I think I still have... Yep, I still have my AWACS and my offensive ECM aircraft up off the coast of Andoya. Brought them outside of the Soviets' patrol range, although they have been striking Bardufoss. And I'm expecting another round of strikes at some point to go after Andoya, if not Bodo as well. Or maybe Avenyes. I think Avenyes is where the Dutch were heading to. Wow, that's getting really distracting. Why is it taking... Shouldn't be reloading like that. That's weird. It's like it's not saving the tiles. Let's see if I zoom in now. I know this is also a pretty large scenario as well. What do we got right there? don't believe I have any cap up over northern Norway right now. I think everything's either been shot down or is currently on the ground rearming. Good morning, Gunner. Come to watch me get pummeled. Alright, I'm going to try to go to 5-second time compression here, but if it gets too clunky, then I may turn it back down. But there's not a whole lot going on right now. That would be my patrol craft engaging with their guns. Remember last week, the only one of my guns that actually has any ammo left was on the aft deck of the torpedo boat. Alright, so that one's, for all intents and purposes, gone. Alright, so I'm just going to abort the attack of this, and we'll get this group out of here. They got nothing left. Gunner didn't provide any ports to rearm or refuel, so... Alright, I'm just going to turn Sentinel 2 off. That constant loading is getting annoying. And I'll turn on the BMG layer. Not quite as nice to look at, but hopefully it'll be less tiling. Alright, we'll get that group. Just send it as far south as I can. Then go to flank. Well, I've lost northern Norway. I have managed to defend... What airbase is this? I have been able to defend Bonnock against the various air assaults. I still have theoretical control of a couple of other my radar points because the AI platoons didn't do anything, but I've also lost a couple of others. All my missile torpedo boat groups survived. Some have taken some slight damage, but they're all there. And my sub is still alive, so... The 48th Fighter Wing is inbound from Lakenheath, and as well as the Dutch Fighter Squadron. Yeah, Bonnock, I believe, has been attacked twice now, and I've managed to defend it with the ground troops. The AI, when it spawned, was really kind of scattered, so I just kind of concentrated my infantry and... I believe that's what these Cubs were doing. In theory, I probably should have lost Bonnock, but... MiG-23 floggers coming in, but their attack... Oh no, they're fighters. Never mind. Don't have to worry about those. I have no fighters that far north anyway. A whole gaggle of fulcrums. And my Norwegian F5s and F16s from down south are just inbound now. Alright, we'll see if the F5s can at least take out the lone Su-17 recon. Man, that is a lot of fighters. I'm not sure what just took off. Yeah, I have no idea what just took off. Yeah, I don't know why I was getting the takeoff chatter. I shouldn't have. And my diesel sub is just recharging batteries and slowly making its way back and forth. I don't really see any surface groups that are worth going after right now. More MiG-23s coming in. You think you added enough Soviet fighters in this, Gunner? I mean, it's already bad enough, but like, but I'm not gonna even go and try and tangle with that mess. Got some bogeys coming in. Potentially. I should have kept one of these groups. I'm gonna pick 4. You 4. Group up. Unassign. Group. Go and engage whatever that is. I don't want to get my F5s too far spread out because, well, they are only F5s. But I also don't want to risk an attack on Bardafus or Andoya. I think Bodo is far enough back where it's safe for the time being. Man, if this is how scenario 1 is, I'm afraid to find out what the other 60-something scenarios are like. Some MiG-27s that apparently none of my Fs can hit. Come on. There we go. And do my F5s not have any active radar? That's interesting. The F5 doesn't actually have a radar. Wow. That's surprising. No wonder it lost to the F-16. Zan 2622, that's because I have the Sentinel 2 maps turned off intentionally. Because I'm streaming, they tend to get tiled up, and because Gunner has way too many units in this scenario. Somebody fired at something. I don't know who's firing at what right now. Oh, they're at Bodo. I'm gonna rebase these two to Andoya. That should leave all my remaining Norwegian aircraft split between Andoya and Bardafus. And more MiGs coming in. Oh, and we got ground attack missiles. That's awesome. Abort and attack. Really hope those missiles in particular are going for Bardafus. I would much rather lose F5s at this point on the ground than I would F-16s. Based off its heading, it appears like it is. But you never know with deceptive. Come on. Kill the Su-24, please. I don't even... Does the F5 even have a gun? Yes, it does. Okay. Alright, guys, close into gun range. Oh, yay, look at that. That's gonna be fun. Yeah, it's going after my radar. The F5 has an awesome two guns. They pop up like headlights on a Honda. Oh, you know, just when I think like I'm gonna get a little bit of a breather, you know, this happens. Let's see. Looks like MiG-23s, probably on escort. Oh no, never mind. That's not a strike. Those were actually aircraft on a patrol mission going after my F5s, but my F5s are now out of their engagement envelope. Well, that's a unexpected bonus. But just the fact that my two F5s managed to trigger that is a little scary. Yep, all those red triangles are hostile. How Bonnick is holding out, I don't know. Ow, that was my knuckle. Yep, Bonnick is still holding out. If I had any Sams left, those Cubs wouldn't be there. Oh, my sub's just going around. Not sure how far north I want this sub to go. Those are the transport Cubs, I believe. Yeah, transports. I think these are from the group that dropped the paratroopers. Alright, what do we have now at Andoya? 13 F-16s at Andoya ready to go. I'm going to just unassign everybody for missions. I don't want accidental launches. And what about Bartifus? Got about 3 hours before the F5s are ready to fly again. Which makes me wonder why the F-16s got turned around so quickly. Oh, because they are set to quick turnaround. Are the F5s not set to quick turnaround? Oh, yeah, they are. Huh. And the first elements of the Dutch are beginning to land. And the first of the 48th Fighter Wing is on the ground. I'm going to take... Alright, I think I'm going to take these two F-16s. I'm going to launch them on Cap North. And then when they take off, I'm going to rebase them to Andoya to clear out space at Bodo. That'll make it easier to manage everybody if they're all at one airbase. Who are we firing at? Firing at the Bergen group. Or the Bergen group is firing at the Su-27s. I'm going to stop that as soon as I read this message. Two Allied Forces North, Norway. From Allied Forces Northern Europe, the U.S. airbase at Keflavik, Iceland has been struck by a missile attack. At least 36 large anti-surface missiles, probably AS-4 Kitchen, were launched from an east of North Greenland and were screened from NATO radars by polar ice flows and significant ice fog off the polar cap, aided by jamming from a Soviet trawler. 9 missiles penetrated defenses, have put the 2 main runways out of commission. 1 KC-135, 1 E-3 AWACS were destroyed in the missile attack. Major elements of the Soviet Northern Fleet have broken out into the Barents, including 2 Kundastov, 2 Kirov, 2 Kiev. Ouch, that's terrible. Air defense and ASW escorts and 1 large amphibious group. Submarine movement is heavy. North Norway 36th Air Independent Landing Brigade, 317th Naval Infantry Battalion have conducted airborne, air mobile, and amphibious operations to seize air and port facilities through Finnmark. Soviet air forces have achieved air superiority over Bartifus. I never would have guessed that. Neither the 76th Guards Airborne Division nor the 63rd Guards Naval Infantry Brigade have been detected. Spetsnaz units have been detected in Oslo, Copenhagen, Reykjavik, and other areas. Actions to date have been minor actions of sabotage aimed at disrupting communications, civil defense, and inciting terror and confusion among the populace. Assessment: it is very likely that Soviet forces' initial objective is to capture Iceland, Central Norway, or both, using rapid deployment of air, sea, and strategic land forces within the next 72 hours. Engineering efforts at Keflavik are underway, but it will be at least 48 hours before the runways are operational. Limited operations are being conducted using secondary strips. All transatlantic reinforcements are diverting through Scotland or flying direct. All available tanker aircraft are being diverted to support transatlantic activity. Delays to AMF reinforcements can be expected. U.S. forces have gone to DEFCON 1 status. However, secure assessment is that nuclear exchange is unlikely. Global situation developing. An update will be provided within 1 hour. Update ends. So a little interesting there, Gunner, is I'm not sure if you've ever actually thrown kitchens at Keflavik runways, but the kitchen doesn't actually damage runways that much. I actually threw a couple of backfire regiments at Keflavik this week and basically didn't even put a dent in it. Submarine S318 Koban has been ordered to periscope depth or surface, but the doctrine has been configured to submarine dive when threats are nearby. Okay, I don't know why I'm getting that. There is no threats to the submarine. Oh. Probably those Su-27s. Alright. So one... Stop firing your missiles. MCON. Basically wasting missiles against fighters that can't hurt the task group, so... So I'm going to change the Sea Sparrow to no automatic fire. No automatic fire. You can fire on guided weapons if they are detected, but no automatic fire against helicopters. And I don't care about surface ships. There's none within range. Okay. That should stop this engagement, because I mean, those Su-27s can't hurt the Bergen. There's no reason to be wasting missiles at it. But if I do detect fighters, I will go back and change that. Or if I go detect ground attack, not fighters. If I detect attack fighters, I'll go change that, but I'm not too worried. Although, I take that whole thing back. Well, they can't help that AWACS anyway, so get the AWACS south. I didn't think about that before I... They are not AS4s, but something else. You'll need to wait for Book 2 to find out. So is that not in a scenario, Gunner? Okay, I want my AWACS. Patrol. I want to move that farther south. Grab that point, drag it south of Vandoya. Let's grab the other point. Grab that point and move. Too much going on right there. I can't grab the point. Come on, grab the reference point. There we go. Now I can grab it. And move it south of Vandoya. I want to actually take that back on the Bergen's orders. The Bergen's... actually I do have F-16s ready to go at Andoya, so never mind. I'm gonna keep the Bergen as it is, and I'm going to launch Andoya. I need a reminder. Where is my Cap North zone at? So pull back more into a little bit. That should let me cover the Bergen group, but also not get too far where all these MiG-23s are going to get triggered. And get 2 F-16s up. Launches group. Assigned a mission. Cap North. And I should have 2 other F-16s already up. I do. Before I forget, change their base to Andoya. That's done. Okay, here we go. I take that. Keep going back and forth on the Bergen's weapon release, but I'm going to take that back. Inherited. My original thought was to not waste Sea Sparrows on fighters, but now that I think about it, I actually do want to be wasting missiles. Get that P3 out of there. Got a piece of that SU-27. You two, go after those. Really wish I had more AIM-120s. But I will have to wait until the 48th Fighter Wing is ready to go. Got 20 on the deck, and about 2 hours they should be ready. Although the fact that Gunner even gave me F-15s with AMRAAMs makes me really worried. Because now I just don't know what else I'm going to get. Or get thrown at me. No, you guys don't need to RTB. Signed a mission. Cat North. Radar's off for now. Mission. Cap North. Mission Doctrine. Weapon state, use loadout settings, all BVR or standoff. Yeah, I need to pause real quick. Don't use loadout settings. All mission specific weapons have been expended with air-to-air guns. Okay, that's what I want. I don't need F-16s returning to base when they still have Sidewinders on their... Okay. So... Again, I still have 2 AWACS on station. I thought I'd fix this. AWACS. Unassign all of these from the mission. I don't need multiple AWACS on station. So I'm keeping number 4 on station, so number 2 can get unassigned, go to back to base. Why aren't you... RD... Okay, there we go, finally. It's taking a minute, given everything that's going on right now. The Falcon... NATO AWACS... Alright, the Orion can go back to its patrol. And pull the patrol point back a little bit. Theater-wide missile management is a theme of the later scenarios. AMRAAMs, AIM-54, and TLAMs. Oh. I'm looking forward to that, Gunner. You said the magic word, which was AIM-54, which means there's Tomcats in later scenarios. And everybody knows that the F-14 Tomcat is the best fighter the U.S. has ever made. Might as well turn sensors off on that group. What I don't get is why, like, my patrol boats are, like, dropping in speed when they turn, like down to 5 knots, and then they, like, speed back up. It's like, I get slowing down in a turn, but I didn't think they'd be slowing down that much. Like, it's dropping 12, 12, 13. Oh, it's because I have a damaged unit. That's why. Okay, so just go to 16 knots. So you stop doing that. Manual override, just go to 16 knots. Oh, hang on. Let's do this. Oh, wrong setting. Doctrine. Where's the group lead can slow down setting at? I thought it was under the formation manager, but apparently not. Flash from Ministry of Defense Command Center to all Norwegian Defense Forces. Multiple explosions throughout Oslo have occurred over the past 15 minutes. Most importantly, Parliament was struck by what appears to be a large truck bomb during a speech from the King. There are few survivors, and it is assumed that both the King and Prime Minister, plus many members of Parliament, are casualties. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, who was in Brussels briefing the NACC with Minister of National Defense, has been declared temporary head of state by the Supreme Court and is flying home at this moment. Other bombing sites were the main police HQ, the railway station, the harbor tunnel entrance, several media outlets, and 2 local armories. The seat of government is now located with this HQ in Akershus Fortress, right at the top of the side window. Oh, group lead can slow down. Yeah, that's what I wanted unchecked. Thanks, Gunner. Okay. Just delete that group. There we go. So this can go to flank speed, and the Scarf can just go to whatever its best speed is. All Morning, SSN. How goes the new PC? This scenario makes you mad. Do you not like losing, SSN? Next scenario is a monster. 5 U.S. carriers, 2 Brit, 2 French, over 100 ships, lots of Tomcats. You just made me really happy, SS or Gunner. And let me guess, like 20 regiments of Soviet naval aviation coming at you. You also got me curious as to what hit Keflavik if it wasn't AS4s. This would be a perfect scenario for you to play to test out that new PC, SSN. Alright, well, the missile groups look like they are actually going to make it. Not sure why you got detached. Have those groups meet up around Andoya. Scarf. Pretty sure I told you to keep moving. Missile group 2, redirect to around the North Cape and head for Andoya. I don't think the Scarf is going to get out. Kiop should be able to get out, though. Oops. Your theme with the community is the Soviet missile development extending from the late 80s that didn't historically happen. Scud Ds in this one, for instance. Oh, nice. Is that what was in the opening salvo of missiles at your various bunkers and sites over here in Finland? Or Finnmark, sorry. Yep, the Nordkap is right there. Still making its way south at a steady 22 knots. But I didn't think the Nordkap's even been attacked. I got really lucky in this attempt. When I first played the scenario a couple weeks ago, the one I forgot to save, I think I lost all my missile boats, and I think just Nordkap survived, other than Bergen and the group that's to the south. Um, but in this one, I think everybody made it except maybe one that was with this missile group here in the very far north. Obviously, the Scarv is damaged, but it made it. Nordkap survived. Both groups from missile groups 1 and 3 survived. You have a side story to develop for her and her survivors. So, does she not supposed to make it? Well, the MiG-23s are RTB. Now's the time to strike. Alright, so move. Don't see anything else really coming to take up station. Let's see. 2, 4, 4 that are left on station here. They look like they're heading back. Only 2 Su-27s on station in the far north. And even those two, or that one even looks like it's heading back now. The really sad thing is because I didn't damage these all that much, they're all going to be back. Have anything that I can intercept with? No. Guess I have those F-16s, but let's detach you and detach you. We'll go to those two. And let's see. Can we catch those? Probably don't have the feel for it. $480 knots. 480. No, we're not going to catch them. Never mind. Don't do that. Submarine Coben has been ordered periscope. Okay, would you... I don't need a reminder of that. The sub is doing just fine and doesn't need to go dims. Make 20 cents of dump bombs, grounds itself, and is the subject to a later scenario. Oh, that's... Nope, in this one, she's gonna make it. Or should make it, anyway. Not sure how one Su-20 or one Su-27 was able to take out 2 F-16s, but that sucks. They're RTB. See, the other thing I'm really not used to, I'm not used to being on this low end of the text pool. Seems like they have a lot better assets than I have at this point in time. I would say it's almost like a 2-for-1 exchange rate. Like, I lose 2 for every one of theirs I kill. And I'm not sure if that's numbers or if they just have slightly better units. They have the numbers and the Su-27, which is spirited with the MiG-29, equal to the F-16, but not the MLU or the F-15s. Yeah, that feels about right. I wonder what those are way out there. In light of the information I had about the Soviet is the Soviet Northern Fleet in this scenario, Gunner? Never mind, don't tell me. I think I'm just going to leave the Kobin here in the south. I was going to send it farther to the north to replace the Ulstein, but given the fact that there may or no, so I don't have to worry about like the Kirov group and those amphibs showing up like outside of Andoy or Bodo then. Immediate to Allied forces North Norway from Allied forces North Europe. Global situation developing rapidly. Warsaw Pact forces have launched a sudden and violent attack on a global scale. Air Force sent. A massive coordinated strike was launched simultaneously with attacks in North Norway. Initial reports are that up to 17 tanks and combined armed armies are involved, with approximately 40 Class A divisions supported by 8 air armies. Berlin will likely fall in the next 24 hours. Munich is threatened. NATO armies are mobilizing and deploying to defend against the Warsaw Pact thrusts. Reforger is commencing. The first element should be moving out of the Pomka sites within the next 12 hours. France has reintegrated with NATO military forces and are deploying to forward positions. The air battle over Germany is simply epic. An amphibious operation has captured the northern entrance to the Bosphorus, and an attempt has been made to topple the Turkish government. It's unclear what is happening at the moment. Syria, Jordan, Libya are effectively involved. On the Soviet side, Syria, Jordan attacking Israel, and Libya interdicting maritime traffic in the Med. Israel is holding its own at the moment. An attempted coup in Egypt is probably linked to an attempt to close the Suez Canal earlier today. A container ship transiting through Port Suez exploded and caught fire. Quick action by the local authorities pushed and towed it to open water, where it burned to the waterline and sank. The U.S. Sixth Fleet, centered on USS Eisenhower and USS Iowa, along with Italian, Spanish, Greek, Turkish, and now French forces, are rapidly stabilizing the situation in the Med. Operation Bright Star is commencing with the deployment of the USAF 366 Air Intervention Composite Wing and a High Readiness Brigade from the 9th Infantry Division to Egypt. The situation in the Balkans is confusing, violent, and unpredictable at the moment. Sackland. SOSUS detected a considerable number of submarine deployments before the system was knocked out. In addition to the attack on Iceland, several large merchant vessels have either been attacked or failed to report their location for the past several hours. The U.S. Second Fleet is out of position. The America Carrier Battle Group returned from an 8-month deployment several weeks ago and is beginning a short-term refit. The Enterprise Carrier Battle Group is on work up training in Puerto Rico. She has been ordered to steam north as quickly as possible. Both the Roosevelt and Carl Vinson are at Norfolk in various stages of preparation. It'll be about a week before either one of these BGs is ready to sortie. In the meantime, the HMS Invincible, along with standing NATO Force Atlantic, are guarding the GI UK gap. Wow, this is some update. Cuba, Venezuela are overtly supporting the Soviets and are backed by some unexpected Soviet equipment. Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Costa Rica are all experiencing some form of political upheaval. It is too early to tell which way things will go, but it will certainly be messy. The Kennedy Carrier Battle Group and other forces from the US, UK, France, and the Netherlands are in the area to keep a lid on things. South Atlantic, all quiet so far, although Argentina is making noise about seizing the Falkland Islands again. The U.S., UK, France, Germany have forces in South Atlantic, Pacific. Major attacks on Japan and U.S. facilities. China remains neutral but has gone to full alert status. Japan, Australia, New Zealand, the Philippines, Singapore, and Malaysia have declared support against. Shouldn't that be against Soviet aggression, not again, Gunner? Against Soviet aggression. Vietnam claims neutrality, but is allowing Soviet basing and overflights to continue. North Korea has launched an attack against South Korea. However, this seemed uncoordinated with Soviet actions. The U.S. 7th Fleet, based on the Kitty Hawk and the Constellation carrier battle groups, along with multinational forces, are engaging, while the U.S. 3rd Fleet mobilizes, centered on the George Washington and Independence battle groups. Indian Ocean. India has declared a separate war with Pakistan and stated that it will allow Soviet intervention if the U.S. or the West becomes involved. Iran has closed the Straits for Hormuz to all traffic. Strait of Hormuz? Sure, that's Strait of Hormuz. To all traffic, with predicted a major clash with U.S. forces in the Gulf. Iraq has declared itself neutral. Other Gulf states are assisting the U.S. Yemen is overtly assisting the Soviets, and together with several Horn of Africa countries, including Somalia, Eritrea, have attempted to close the Bab el Mandeb. U.S. 5th Fleet, leading a multinational force, is centered on the Nimitz and Saratoga carrier battle groups, while the Abraham Lincoln carrier battle group is currently transiting into the IO from South Australia. Update ends. Wow. Basically, the world just went to shit. And it sounds like the U.S. basically has carrier battle groups out everywhere and not concentrated anywhere. Snafu situation. Normal, all effed up. I tell you, that was some briefing. Nice sets the stage for basically all the other scenarios, though. You know, Gunnar, me and SSN are really going to have to get you on the podcast sometime to talk a little bit about Northern Fury. I know we chatted when the book came out, but 9 books is what you're up to. Wow. I guess Joel's going to be busy. And more SU-27s coming onto station. Joel has 6 kids. He's already busy. Man, where does he find the time to... Between 6 kids... I think he's still in the service, isn't he? And then now writing 9 books. I don't know where you find the time for that. Let's see, what's going on? Still got those Cubs circling Bonnock. Alright, I think I can move the patrol for the AWACS a little farther north again. move it farther out to sea, but farther north. It's actually my first time playing it all the way through. Wow, that's gonna be busy.
Tactical. Buster 2-1, negative radar contact, procedural control only, maintain on 7.
My second Falcon is coming up. First Falcon is RTB. Those have to be recon, right? That far north. Well, the good news is that my P3s don't seem to be picking up any Soviet subs. Hey, Gunner, you ever consider adding search and rescue to any of the Northern Fury scenarios? SU-24s. Bet you that's what those are. Morning, Pixel. The war is going. Not too much has changed so far. Yeah, I've been using I've in the just finished, but I'm in the process of integrating Apache's SAR scripts from the rebuilt CMO scenarios into El Dorado Canyon. I think it works out pretty well. I noticed Sharana did a similar thing in Broken Shield 300, but instead of having to select both units and click a special action, you just have to get the helo close to the down pilot and it'll pick them up. But I think I'm gonna just stick with using Apaches for right now. Yeah, that's true. Trying to do SAR in something like this, I'd have down air crews all through northern Norway right now. More fencers. You know what? I'm gonna make the Soviets pay a little bit for having Elant aircraft that far north unescorted. Wait for my F-16s to take off. There they are.
Negative radar contact. Procedural
Flights.
control only. Maintain
Head north. I'm gonna stay. Hopefully out of their fighter engagement range. I forgot that the range rings don't work if you have group mode turned on, so should have plenty of fuel to get out there. Alright, gonna send a group of F-16s to go after fencers or probably some variety. It'll be a small victory, assuming it works. But I'll take anything I can get at this point. Turn radars off for now. 0 to 235 is not a good record. About 20 minutes to an hour until I have the first group of F-15s ready to sortie. I've gotten some victories. They've been local, but Looks like another air attack on Bonnock. More transports coming in. More fulcrums. Wonder if I pass through those flankers. Nope, they're turning back. Oh, your wins versus the Soviets in this. Yeah. Let's see. Those are all hostile. Order my SAM platoons back towards the airfield. They don't have any ammo left anyway. And wait for the transports. Man, if I was those troops in Bonnock, I don't envy those troops in Bonnock at all. Nope.
Push tactical. Buster 2-1. Negative radar contact. Procedural control only. Maintain all separation.
All right, and okay, looks like my P3 has triggered the. Okay, what are you doing? No, whatever the hell you think you're doing. Go that way. Oh. We just found a submarine. I was wondering why the sub was going up there, but I need to turn that setting off. Where's that sub patrol? ASW North. Don't do that. All right, we got the sub. Let's do a quick little thing of sonar. There we go. Got him. All right, sonar can go off now. So the transports came up, they flew around, and I'm supposing they dropped troops, but nothing's showing up. One thing I kind of have noticed, Gunner, is I've noticed some of the landing forces don't seem to be getting put onto a patrol mission, or seem to be getting dropped where areas where they can't move. All right, we got the sub. Perfect. And just let the Olstein continue on its way. Oh, oops. I forgot to. Oops. Thanks, Gunner. I was wondering why I was detecting air units. Oh, I think when I was engaging the surface groups, I think I manually turned it on when I was trying to locate them. I think, and then I forgot to just turn it off. All right, AWACS, or no, they're not going after the AWACS. They're going after the P3. So let's get a group out of Andoya to go intercept. Actually, no. Let's see, do I have any F5s? I do have F5s. Let's use them. Save my F16s where I can. And run P3, run. I think my P3's chance of actually making it are. No, it won't. But if I could maybe bring the F5s in behind it while it's busy chasing the P3. Maybe. We'll see. I'd rather waste F5s than F16s. There's missile launch. Yeah, that was never gonna. Speaking of F16s, you guys have work to do. Radar's on. What do we got? Any emissions? Now, if I'm that pilot right there, now I'm probably going, oh crap. While they're doing that, I want to tell my F5s, go engage whatever that is. Oh, that SU-27. I know what that is. Missile. Perfect. And now go after that one. Should probably get another P3 up. I'll wait till that SU-27 gets out of range. They are 11 minutes to bingo fuel. Might as well stay on Afterburner. All right, SU-27 versus the F5. Probably going to lose the F5s. That's my bet anyway. Come on, close the distance. All right, Coben. Yeah, I know. Oh, come on. Just hit the SU-20. Oh, man. This... Alright, got one hit. Wow. How many Sidewinders does it take to kill an SU-27? And the F-16s are going to get within range, though, before they have to RTB. I think he was out of missiles gunner. If you looked at the range ring on him, he didn't have... It's either that or maybe he only... His weapon release authorization was set to... one... Was maybe set to one engagement only. Alright, so we'll get the F-16s to double back a little bit before they hit bingo fuel. Because if they go direct for Andoya now, I think they'll cross through the Soviet patrol's engagement or prosecution zone. The big news here is that I killed 3 targets and I didn't take any losses for the first time this entire scenario. Things are looking up. plus the sub. I mean, I did. I don't. I was talking more air to air victories. I mean, I did take out the Soviet missile patrol groups for the most part. Which is interesting because I've either lost contact with them or it's all got cleaned up and they all got deleted. I haven't looked at my points. My points right now are average score of 34. That's actually not what I was expecting. I thought I was going to be sitting like 10,000 points in the red, so. Fulcrum's on patrol. The real question I'm debating right now is how aggressive I want to get with my F-15s and my rest of my F-16s. I have to think about that one this week. Because I know as soon as I try to get aggressive, I'm going to take losses, and then at that point, Gunner's going to throw like the second wave of every Air Force unit the Soviets have, right at me. I actually haven't finished the book yet. Don't tell Gunner that. It's a great book. When it came out, I started reading it. I got about a quarter of the way in, and then work got in the way. But I did start rereading it the other day. I was really hoping the audiobook would be out so I could listen to it on that. Plus, it's kind of nice not knowing what's going to happen. It actually makes, in my opinion, it kind of makes the scenario more fun to play. Alright, this group can now RDB. Six weeks with their Q-18. Wow. Is that just because they're not working right now, Gunner? I guess I can actually get another P3 up now. I assigned that P3 to the wrong mission. should be assigned to ASW. A couple of fulcrums coming in. For that, I will get. No. If I send F5s against MiG-29s, they're going to get obliterated. Assigned a mission. Captain North launches group. Assigned a mission. Captain North launches group. Alright, so I will launch some of the Dutch F-16s.
Pretty tactical. Buster 2-1, negative radar contact, procedural control only, maintain all separation. Pretty tactical. Buster 2. Pretty tactical. Buster 2-1, negative radar contact, procedural control only, maintain all separation.
I'll send in the F5s with the F-16s. Looks like I'm going to get within shooting distance, though, before they turn to engage me. A couple more fulcrums coming in, though. Go get them, guys. Shoot. Alright, so I lost the L4 F-16s. See if the F5s can avenge them. Not sure what got the last one. So that was alright. That may not have been my best move. 4 F-16s and 4 F-5s for what? 2 fulcrums, 3 fulcrums. Not a great exchange rate. Yeah, I think it was 3. Looks like Nordcap's about to have a visit. Floggers. Alright, 4 missiles inbound. Yep. Well, there you go, Gunner. I just lost the Nordcap. I thought she was going to make it too. Yep, and 250 refugees from Bannock. Somehow our bridge is still operational, though. But yeah, everything else is gone. Other news, it looks like the missile groups at least are going to make it. Still not sure if Scarv's going to make it, or the Kyop. We're going to take out the facts. So better lose. Yeah. If I'm going to lose something, I'd rather have lost that, but still would not have rather have lost it. I'm going to turn the Bergen group to the north now. And in theory, the missile groups are under, or my fast attack groups are under friendly air cover now, but with that group of F-16s hanging, or MiG-29s hanging off to the right, I'd probably sacrifice the missile groups. Like the matter is, at least at the moment, there doesn't seem like there's nothing else to shoot at for the naval groups. So if it came between them or losing F-16s, I'd probably rather lose them. Oh, I know I'm gonna lose, Reese. That was never, like, in doubt. I knew that. PS-359, the missile groups pretty much expended themselves for the most part against the Soviet initial landing and fast attack groups. Um, they still have some missiles left, but right now I'm not picking up any other surface targets for them. Yeah, they don't have anything to shoot at. Sorry. Um, hoping to rendezvous them up with the Bergen group is my overall plan here. Okay, so I need to move the ASW patrol south. Because what's going on is my Orions are triggering the Soviet cap. Yeah, they just turned away now. So I'm going to pull that back. Always. Something like that. More fulcrums. What's surprising is that I'm pretty sure that those Cubs earlier landed more troops, or should have landed more troops. But nothing appeared at Bannock. Another Elin aircraft off to the north. Send another two F-16s out after it. Looks like somebody incoming on Bartifice. Don't know what yet. Nope, they're turning around. Either that or they just launch missiles and I'm not detecting them.
Tactical. Buster 2-1, negative
F-16 flight, heading north. This was built in the days when teleport was the only real option, so I think that they are just on repeat. Oh, that explains it. Have you, or do you plan to go back to older Northern Fury 1 scenarios, Gunner, and rebuild them? Or do you just kind of take the opinion that once they're done, they're done? More, loads more fulcrums coming in, and floggers. Probably replacements for this group. So in other words, we're not going to see a Northern Fury remastered collection. Maybe when you're on a walker. Probably about how long it's going to be before Northern Fury is done, right? Just tell Joel to write faster, Gunner. Have him tell his CO that writing is. Oh, I don't know. I'm sure he can find some good reason to be writing during when he should be working. That's a really big blob of red. Conveniently, the fencer or whatever this is up here is just turned around. F-16s might not have to chase this one so far. Not sure what keeps hitting the Sosa station. Then again, I don't have any radars that far north, so not sure if it's artillery though or if it's missiles. Could be either one. Yeah, one flight's coming onto station, the other ones are turning for home. I didn't realize there was anti-surface patrols that far back. I figured all the AS anti-surface patrols would be up along the coasts. Cub's still flying around. That Fencer F still flying around. Yeah, I don't think I have any sensors left that far north. I think everything's been taken out. I think the only thing I have left up that far is the bunker. And apparently an infantry unit. Yeah, I didn't expect that to actually do anything, but um, should use the base change script to transfer Kirkenes to you. I didn't realize there was a script to change Kirkenes to me. Patching someone developed it, and I used it on some of the IO scenarios. I don't know this script. Does it just change the side of the unit? I don't think I would have based anything up at Kirkenes anyway. Anything that far north is just asking to get pulverized. On a trigger, changes all the components of a group to your side and then groups them. Oh. You have a link to that, Gunner? Yeah, it wasn't too hard, Reese. They didn't shoot back. But that is in a really angry blob of red. More MiG-23s. Looks like they're coming after air bases. Or at least a fighter sweep over my air bases. Alright. I'm going to leave that group of F-16s up there to the north for right now. And then it is 1 o'clock, so I think I'm going to call it here. I think it's a good break point. I think in the next part, I will determine what to do with the rest of my Air Force, whether to just kind of play defensive for the next 15 and a half hours, or whether I want to get a little aggressive with the 15Cs and their AMRAAMs. The score right now is average. I'm at score 10. So I'm a little down because I did lose the Nordcap, I think was the loss. And of course the 6 or the 8 aircraft I lost, taking out the MiG-29s. So I'm not doing terrible. I'm doing about where I expected to be. Yeah, I figured they're mostly air to air. I don't know. I haven't looked at the loadouts, but I don't know if the MLD even has the ability to do ground attack. But I do know some of the variants of the MiG-23 can. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna go grab some lunch. Thank you for watching, and I will be back at the same time next week.